So as we kind of wrap things up here, we don't have time to talk about the slow death of traditional marketing tonight, but just know there's some things that are very different about marketing, okay? Like the whole trading your time for dollars being like something of shame. Again, your willingness to do that and to find a way to do it in a way that you love, being in front of people, actually coaching with them, actually, if you are committed to that, I can show you how to market without needing to spend as much as everybody else and without having to follow the traditional guidelines that are based in a more for consuming, not for consciousness. It's the way I've been doing my business for a decade, and with much criticism from people around me, much criticism, the way I've coached, the way I've built my coaching business, a lot of criticism from consultants and other professionals and whatever, and even those who think that having a business built primarily on referrals is a joke, like that's old school. No, that's consciousness. You're getting results. That means people are actually shifting and changing in ways they feel are sustained, so they don't feel worried about recommending people to you because they're not as worried that they're going to spend money and not get results, because that's what you provide. Relationships, not fans. Relationships, not fans is another way traditional marketing is changing. You can talk about the needs of your customer and all this stuff, but so much of that is taught to create fans. And even if they say it differently, you look at the actual functions, the actual leverage, the actual NLP manipulations that are being used are still from the core premise of when you have fans, they will buy from you. When you have relationships, they will invest with you. And that's where we're headed. That's where I've been operating for a long time. And it's fun to start seeing the world show up. Unfortunately, because it has to, and I say unfortunately because that's hard on their nervous systems, and it's hard on a lot of marketers that I have as friends and people that I love. So where to start? Where to start? Well, we would recommend about 3 to 5 years of education, become a licensed psychotherapist or a number of other different things that can help give you that kind of scope. 20 plus years of coaching experience with thousands of clients like Justin and I have, thousands of hours of research and study from thousands of people who have also spent thousands of hours of research and study, multiple 6 figures of investments in our own coaching, our own training, our own therapy, our own healing, our own understanding, our own systems, our own tools. Or we want some help? We'd love to give you an opportunity to consider the upgrade. 8 weeks of group mentorship and training, personal mentorship in addition to the group experience, personal mentorship, personal session with me, with Justin, and with both of us to be able to guide you, work through all the different levels, actual tools and applications, practices, business strategies that are based in what we've been talking about tonight, rather than just add-ons and manipulations to different things, trying to just dress it up differently, but it's still being about consuming and still being about that more of consumerism and that more of competition and that more of all these things that we have more now. So that more is now less relevant. And then the face-to-face interaction and integration required to be able to upgrade as a coach. Whether you are an aspiring coach who's wondering whether you need a credential or a certification, we would love to show you that you may not. This may be all that you need. We're pretty confident that it's all that you need, but it may not be all that you need, depending on whether you feel like you need that credential, whether you feel like you need a different tool or whatever it is. But fundamentally, it is all that you need for where society is headed, where the world is headed, and the agility, the executive function, the nervous systems, the navigating self-deception. If you understand those things alone and you just meet people and ask them certain questions, we'll teach you, learn how to assess them before they work with you, after they work with you, assess yourself. It's enough. Here's a brief overview of the upgrade experience, of the topics that'll be covered, the journey of you. Becoming a coach is one of the hardest things you'll ever do because you are going to be your number one client. If you are not your number one client, not because you execute everything perfectly, not because Justin and I were joking about our executive function issues as we were preparing for this webinar, okay? It's about being in there though. And it's about knowing how to get in there and how to allow it to be safe in there. So the journey of you is critical. Assessment, not taking an assessment. I had the opportunity to build an unbelievable technology with my dad, the Habit Finder assessment. It's a tool that I still use. It's amazing. We're talking about assessing, evaluating people who you will want to be working with, how to identify them in general, and how to identify them individually, how to assess them after you start working with them, and how to assess them along the way to be far more productive and to have longevity and results in your work. We're going to give you all of that and teach you how to do that. White rabbit marketing, I call it. This is in this new consciousness epic coming. This is how you're going to grow your business. And yes, traditional marketing is not disappearing. We haven't gone into a new epic without bringing the old stuff in with us. Executive function, simple superpowers is what I call it. Being able to understand how to address it, how to work with it, the consistency required, the practices required, the tools required. We didn't even have time to get into the emotion cards that is going to be a part of this experience. This is one of my favorite tools I've learned from Justin. By the way, this is going to be something we want to teach you that you can bring in no matter what kind of coach you are. Understanding that and how that works is unbelievable. The nervous system, building a whole body mindset. I'm going to teach you how I use presence, breath, movement, and sound in my coaching practice to be able to make an impact on someone who's never done personal development, to someone who has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars with the likes of Tony Robbins and Brendon Burchard and done all the things, and bringing an unbelievable impact to understanding this piece to bring it all to life, make it all work. Navigating self-deception, the pros and cons of bullshit, being able to understand the mechanism, the tools, what to look for, and how to be able to navigate this gift at times and be able to prevent some of its ultimate frustration. Contracts, agreements, pitfalls, and traps. This is from the formalities of being a coach, as well as the informalities of in the sessions, in between the sessions, these kinds of things to be able to help you fill in the gaps. And then full integration of the whole thing to be able to upgrade yourself as a coach for what's coming and what we're doing. Enrollment is open. Interviews are required. You cannot purchase anything from this. Okay, we're not selling you the upgrade experience here. We're sharing this with you and hopefully sharing some things with you that are super helpful, regardless of whether you are a leader, a change agent, a coach, or just wanted to take some of this into your understanding as a parent or a friend or spouse or whatever else. So powerful. And we hope we were able to open your eyes to a few things, give you a couple of things to take with you in longer than we were totally anticipating, but still a relatively short amount of time. And for those of you that are curious, especially some of the greatest coaches out there, like Justin and I, have major insecurities. And so if you're feeling that right now, I would ask, just take a shot, book the consult, costs you nothing. Spend just a little bit of time with me. I promise I will be clear. I will be kind. I'll be compassionate because that's the way we do this. It's a key elements in this upgrade. And let's talk about what kind of impact you're wanting to make on the world and whether this can help you get it. Most certification programs out there that are worth their salt, in my opinion, are $15,000, $25,000, $30,000. This is going to be nowhere near that. So if you're interested, you want to explore that, okay, then sign up and let's talk. What does it look like? What do you need? And maybe it's just the consultation. Maybe that's all you need, just the interview, just to be asked a couple of questions about doing this actually helps you in a direction that you've been frustrated with. And we've got a pretty good feeling that for a lot of you, this is what you're looking for, where you keep more. How many of you have approached coaching the same way we were talking about in terms of consuming this modality, this training, this thing, this, that, getting back to the core elements of the human being, combining the clinical, the existential, the spiritual, the shamanic, and all these different things that Justin and I are bringing to bear on this very passionate project we have, because the world needs better coaches and needs them ASAP. So, Justin, any last few things to share? And then we'll open things up for any questions anyone might have.
Be honored to work with any level, any space that you bring that we want to be able to upgrade / totally integrate for yourself. So I just want to share the gratitude of being in this space with you all and the gratitude of sharing this time. I know we don't get to see who's all attending when we do this webinar format, but it's a space that I value as being able to share my own heart and my own passion with you all today. And I look forward to the potential of doing that more.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody.